Oh, yeah, just caught me finishing the last bit of weeding off on this bed, ready for my winter cabbages. Certainly found this seat really useful. Some of these little jobs where you're bending over all the while. Right, that's that done. I'm going to get a bit more material now just to raise it up a bit. These beds are sinking because these were built 10 months ago, or filled 10 months ago, so all the organic materials are breaking down. Worms are doing a great job, so just need to keep topping up, and I've got plenty of material to fill them, which doesn't cost me anything, so let's get cracking. I've already given this a bit of lime. No signs of club root in this bed. So I shan't add any more. Previous videos I showed you how I rejuvenate my beds. So it's had some liquid manure back into the base. A lot of mycorrhizal fungi here from the pallet collar, the wooden bed in the polytunnel. I've just robbed a bit of that soil because my blue barrels have still got plants in, so I'll be okay like that. And let's sort some of these cabbages out. Well, that's nearly all of them in. I'm planting them in just that little bit deeper, just taking a few of the lower leaves off, burying them as deep as I can. As with all brassicas, they do get tall, so you need to firm them in well. I do have trouble with pigeons here, as well as mice and rats, like everyone else, so I may have to cover this, or I might just give them a spray with some neem oil and hope that when the pigeons land, they don't like the smell. So just taking the lower leaves off. Not going to feed them, do anything. Everything's in the soil. If you prepare your ground well, then you shouldn't have any issues. The ones I've got spare, I'll just show you shortly. I've just dotted them everywhere and I'll plant them in a minute. They look very nice. Some of them are a different colour. Not sure whether it's because they've been under the Mars Hydro SP600s longer than maybe the others, but it certainly brought them along, and I'm really pleased with how they look. They're just a winter cabbage, and if they don't heart up, we'll just take the leaves throughout these cooler months to cover the hungry gap. So managed to squeeze one in there. We've still got some red cabbages there. It's the kale and the sprouting broccoli. Now look at the nets are a lot higher up now. Got those sorted. The kale, that's the dwarf kale. Yeah, I don't know why they call it dwarf kale. but excuse the post. But there again, sometimes the kale does seem to go mad. Again, nets have been raised, pegs have been put in. We've got some red cabbage there. Mrs. K wanted a green cabbage. Just going to leave that, see if it sprouts again. If not, might take the leaves. The sprouts are bulbing out nicely. I'm just hoping that they'll last till Christmas. There's the wood chips that I've been taking out the polytunnel, so I can either put them back as a base layer or use them elsewhere. And we've managed to squeeze in some more there just to fill the gaps. And you see now this net is way up in the air. We'll get a long shot of that in a bit. And I've got 2 left, and look at that, spot on. Everything's tied up now. At least we can walk down here again. It's a big learning curve, these new beds. I've topped next year's parsnip bed up with some material from out of the polytunnel. I forgot about this material. I did my long carrots in the polytunnel, and it wasn't until I started empty the blue barrels that I realised how bloody deep it is. Will I be taking that blue barrel out? Will I? No. That can stay there. I can fill this in with some of the scrap material and possibly dig the floor out a bit just to get me a little bit lower down. But that's really nice sandy stuff, so I'm presuming that's going to be exactly the same. And I've robbed a bit out this bed today. All the tomatoes are out now along this section, so we'll recycle the string. We'll get some more material in here, just slope it up a bit, and I'll get these strawberry plants in. So like I said, just a few tomatoes, a few of my peppers, some of these Joe Long chilies. They're warm, but I'm getting used to eating these hot things. And as you can see now, that bottom end that fell out, there's the bit of polytunnel, and there's all the wood and the supports. We'll get that rolled up and get the wood recycled or burnt. It's quite rotten really, so I'm not going to use it again. And just a quick tip, how do I get my plants from home to the allotment? Just stick a board on my barrow. It's ideal just for pushing them around. You try and get 3 trays in the bottom there. I've bought up at least 6 trays, 8 trays of cabbage on top of there, and brilliant job. Right, let's go and do a potato reveal and then harvest my Braeburn apples. The reason for harvesting my Braeburns is because the rats have dropped one in the pond and ate the rest. And those are my cookers. So I don't want it to happen to these, even though they're not quite ready. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 56 litre pots there. I'm going to have a look at the red ones. I don't know whether they're like the Red King of York or whatever they're called, but they're a red potato, so I'll go and find that one and we'll have a little look, see what we've got. Me mum and dad have started to go back into lockdown now, so it'll be nice to take them some fresh potatoes. So these are the red potatoes, question mark, unknown variety, 4 seeds. I don't know what was in the brackets, but as you may be able to see, it's all my homemade compost, and it's been kept dry so that they don't rot. I'll show you a few of these potatoes in a bit. You may be able to identify them. It's grown into the manure. You can see there it's quite hard. That's the manure layer. as always, I'll be saving these now because they've been in the ground. They've started chitting now, so we always have to be aware when stuff's left in the ground. I'll be the same with my permanent bed, but all you do is knock the chit off and you're away. I'll just finish scratching in there. So we started off with 4 seed potatoes and we end up with these. So whether anybody can tell what they are, I don't think they're Desiree. I'm sure they're something like Red Duke of York. That rings a bell. I'm not sure whether somebody sent me some. Should write things down. But other than that, they ain't in bad nick. And we'll fire all the small ones in at one go. We don't peel any of our potatoes. We eat them as they are. So I'll give these a bit of a wash. And I'll be ready to give to my parents. So let's get these washed. Oh, hello Robocrop, what are you doing here? Oh, you got splashed. Where's the family? What you been up to? You don't look very happy. Anyway, it's got to be done, guys. Got to get the old bog brush out. Saves a lot of time. Pour the water out into the paths. Any soil goes down there. No waste. Mrs. K doesn't like a block sink. Right, keep an eye on those Robocrop, and we'll go and pick the apples. And I've just spotted something. Well, here are my lovely apples, and I've been picking them, don't get me wrong, and I'd like to carry on picking them, but when I noticed that the cooking apples had gone, I thought I'd best harvest them. And oh dear, the old telltale signs. Look at those gnaw marks. So can't blame the birds on those. They tend to take them places. So let's get these harvested. That one we've just seen can be cut up and used in a crumble. Very pleased with these 2 trees. They're definitely staying. So nice little harvest for this time of the year. I haven't washed the 4 seed potatoes. Robocrop, where you going? Taking the family a gift back, are we? This is the apple that I thought was going to be the Cox's Orange Pippin, but as you can see, they're Braeburns, and that's been my favourite all along, and it's mark free. The odd one's got the old grub hole in, but at the end of the day, all the grubs taste the same. You just have to chew a bit harder. So we'll get those potatoes back home, get the apples stored. I've got some newspaper in there to wrap them up, to put them in the cardboard boxes, and there's about 3-4 weeks supply there, which will save us a fortune. And I'm taking the apple back that's been gnawed by the rat. Don't waste anything here when we garden on a budget. Can worms swim, and can they live in water? Yeah, they can for a while, but I'll get those out. Like you saw earlier, I'm still getting the odd strawberry, and they're still flowering. And I've noticed that some people have got their fruit trees flowering, but I popped into my fruit cage to tie in the strawberry runners, Strawberry runners, come on, get a grip. Summer fruiting raspberries. Tied them all in. And even they're flowering. And if I'm lucky, I might even get an extra crop. These should have finished way ago. Well, actually, in fact, this is this year's growth. We've cut out the old growth. They'll get to shot when we get the first few frosts. This blueberry bush hasn't done exceptionally well this year. Been struggling to get the fruits to ripen, excuse me. But don't they give a lovely colour when we get to autumn? The asparagus has just started to die off. I've prepared the bed in a fashion. That'll be a future video. Beans are cleared, and there's the nets that have been raised up. And the Swedes are still going strong. And I've picked another one there for Mrs. K that I forgot to pick up the other day. Oh, she'll be angry. And I've got the extra planks here ready to raise this up, and then I can top this up with compost. These brassicas won't mind, but I'll have to remember not to plant that one just yet. Good job I didn't put it in. So that's the kale there, and then we've got the claret sprouting and broccoli, not purple sprouting, so that'll be something new. And the comfrey roots that I had sent me, they're coming on really well now. The rocket stove that I did yesterday, in my time, not the time you see the videos, but it's drying out nicely. And I have been told to be aware that the bricks may explode. But I'm not going to get it that hot, honestly. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta-ra for now. And winner of the hashtag Sunflower Challenge 2020, the display. Well chuffed with that.